Hello, this is just a tour of my students' projects, mainly the labs that we did this year in my student teaching in fall of 2022. So what we did first with regular physics was a bullseye lab. So how I did this, I chunked the material as well as went over accuracy and precision and what the differences are in which the instructions were to determine who is the most accurate and who is the most precise given the equipment as well as finding your measurements on the bullseye sheet. Next, we went into a toy car lab in which we had buggies, little toy cars, in which the students collected data. There were a lot of visuals, as you can see here, with how they presented them in front of the class, what kind of results they got, either using graphs, numbers, explanations, formulas, as well as tables. And we had a great class discussion about what each group determined was the best way to collect their data and then show it. Next, we're kind of building up with the technology in which we went over how to use Google Sheets using different labs, as well as collecting data for those labs. So it was their data that they were using to then graph using Google Sheets, making sure that they had all the material, as well as the table, the units, what should be on the y-axis, what should be on the x-axis, their equation given the line of best fit, as well as the r-squared value. So that value was very important for most of the labs because we had to see how close all their points was given the trend line, that straight line of best fit. We used a lot of technology labs in which we used Pasco capstone equipment, using a lot of motion sensors, picket fence sensor, as well as graphing with the capstone equipment. So velocity time graphs, position time graphs, as well as using the data that we can collect from those graphs using the motion sensors or any other equipment we use with Pasco to then graph in Google Sheets. So it was kind of a build up this entire first half of the year to get them used to working with the lab equipment, mainly the Pasco capstone equipment with those motion sensors, because that's what we mainly use. And so with AP Physics, they already built up to that. So with their projects, they just jumped right into using that Pasco equipment with some guidance. Well, our regular physics class, we kind of build up to that point in which they can then, within their groups,